I relapsed. I made a video 2 days ago talking about how I was on semen retention for 30 days, and and it was going great. But 2 days ago, I put myself in a position where I I slipped up, and I'll get into that situation and I'll describe it in a few seconds. But before we get into that, I just want to give you a reminder that if you are currently trying to get rid of your porn addiction, or you've been on, like, let's say, a long streak. I don't like counting the days, but you haven't really felt tempted to do it for a long time. This is just a reminder to always have your guard up, because at any moment, if you take an inch, Satan, lust, it'll take a mile. They'll they'll pounce on you at any moment. They're Satan, and is he's watching, just like how God's always watching you. Satan is watching you just as much. And if you give him just a little bit, just a little bit of, what's the word? If you give him something to pounce on, he will take it. And that actually is actually a great transition into the story. So this Friday, you know, I I was invited to this like birthday party, and it was from a neighbor. It was someone who I just met, and they were just partying, and I just told myself that why not? Why not? I just moved to an estate, I just moved to California, and I just want to branch myself out. I want to start making new friends. But they came in and but we were talking, and they offered me to come in. And instantly when I went into this environment, I knew that it wasn't really the best environment. When you just go into like a certain environment, you just feel the energy. It's like you don't belong there, and that's instantly what I felt. So, what did I do? I told myself that I'll just stay here for a little bit, and then we started talking. They offered me a drink. I told them, "All right, just a little bit." That's where I failed. That right there is where I failed, when I just told myself that I'll just drink a little bit. Then when I drink a little bit, you never really just drink a little bit. You take another shot. They offer you shots. There we go. Then you start drinking a little bit more, and there we go. I was tipsy. And when you're tipsy, your inhibitions are low. Your willpower is not as strong as when you're sober. So one thing led to another. We were talking just about life, and I was having a good time. I'm not gonna lie, I was having a good time. But then after that, someone brought out weed. And what happened? I smoked weed as well. So I was crossfaded, and over the course of the time, I did have a good time. I'm not gonna lie, these people were not bad people. But as I said, they didn't really align with who I was. So we were talking, just talking about life, this is that, and then the guy just instantly we just start talking about girls, and he starts showing me like this app where it's kind of like TikTok but for girls to, like, I don't know, I forgot what it's called. It's like called Clapper, and it was like TikTok but for girls to promote their OF content. And I like he just started showing me that like girls were sending him news. And keep in mind, this is a guy who has a wife and kids. So I was just thinking, like, bro, what the heck? Why am I here? In the back of my mind, I'm sorry, I'm just like, why am I here? And but when I was seeing those photos, those news, these girls, guess what was happening? Satan and lust were attacking me at the same time, because as soon as I saw that, I was just getting urges left and right. The strongest I ever had in like weeks, the strongest amount of urge I was getting. And this really made me think, the reason why I was getting attacked in that moment was because I was vulnerable. You see, the thing about life and Satan and things that are is that things that are meant to bring you down is they'll always attack you at your lowest. And in that moment, I was at my lowest. My defenses were low. I, I was slower. I was high, and it was the perfect moment for Satan to come and destroy me. So when I went home, peak temptations, I was just getting left and right. Like, I was the horniest I was. I relapsed. I did it a few times. And I could sit here and say that after that I was done, but the next morning I did it again. I was just vulnerable. I was in a weak spot, and I don't want to blame anyone else but myself. And this is just a lesson, not only for me but for anyone who's watching this video. Is that don't have always have your guard up. You know, and in this moment, I didn't really want to let it bring me down because I know exactly what I did. It wasn't just a yada yada moment where I just no. I did this to myself. And this is what you have to do. When you're trying to get rid of this porn addiction, it's not about you relapsing. Yes, it's not good that I relapsed. I shouldn't have put myself in that position, but when you relapse, you need to really think and rewire your approach. Now I know that I shouldn't be putting myself in that situation. At the very least, if I went, I should have just stayed for 5 minutes, said happy birthday, talked, and then left. Because you gotta think of every possibility, of every possibility happening. You gotta think of the worst. You like if you're like me, where you get, you drink, you smoke, and you know that that's more likely to lead you to sinning, to succumbing to lust, then you need to know that. I'm not going to be drinking, smoking weed, any of that for a while, and if I get presented another situation where that's gonna happen, I'm gonna do my best, do my absolute best, because I can only speak for myself in this moment. I don't know what I'd do in if the out happened again. But I could speak for myself right now that I'm going to do my best to not even make that happen, because I was 30 days clean, didn't have many temptations. Yeah, I'd get urges here and there, but I could very easily just switch it off and think of something else. But as soon as smoked weed, I was in an environment where it was just very lustful. The girls there was also girls there, and they were dressed in a certain way as well, very tight clothing. It's like I just put myself in that position, and I feel I felt like I didn't really feel disappointed. I didn't really feel like trash. I felt actually no, I did feel disappointed. I didn't feel like trash. I didn't beat myself up, but I just felt disappointed in myself because in a way, I kind of should have known what I was putting myself into. And the most important thing though that I am proud of myself for doing is that I learned. I learned from the situation rather than letting it bring me down. But yeah, nah, basically I just wanted to make that video mainly because I just wanted to show the reality. The reality of trying to get rid of porn addiction, because it doesn't matter how many days you are clean. This is why I said don't count the days. Because it doesn't matter how many days you are clean, you are always going to get tempted by lust. In subtle ways, like as I said, temptations, urges, but in your actions. If you're putting yourself in a position where you're going to most likely relapse, for example, if you're smoking weed, if you're going to nightclubs, if you're just flirting with girls that you know you shouldn't even be flirting with, then you're putting yourself in a position to relapse. It's not just a matter of willpower. I'm telling you, the lust is stronger than you think. You think that you could just beat it by yourself, one man army. No, you need to really take this seriously, and that might mean not having the fun that you want, not going to the nightclubs, not just not just being comfortable. Because I'm telling you, if you get rid of lust, every other area of your life will get better. There's a reason why it's one of the seven deadly sins. It destroys you. It really does. If any nofap YouTuber is telling you that they haven't released or that they've been 100% clean for throughout like their amount of their time, no, it's not true. And there probably is a few YouTubers who have been 100% clean. But what I'm telling you is that lust, it's not easy to get rid of. It's not. But basically, if you can get anything out of this video, always remember to keep your guard up. Always remember, because I'm telling you, it doesn't, as I said, it doesn't matter if you're 2 years clean, lust can come back at you at any moment, and yeah. Anyways, that's all I want to talk about in this video. It was kind of more of like like a video summary or like a video journal. Like I'm journaling my thoughts kind of, but like speaking them out just because I wanted to release that and just, hopefully anyone who's struggling with a porn addiction can relate to me, and they can give them some hope. Because I know that when I was peak porn addict, I would have loved a video like this. But yeah. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Peace.